Well, good morning, guys. Happy Vlogtober day 19. I can't believe it's sailing on through. I'm just here with my friend Totoro early morning. Just washed my face, put on my blouse, and I'm about to undo my hair and buzz on out for my day. This morning I am drinking I'm really enjoying this decaf mountain chai from Celestial Seasonings before I get my Bustelo in with my beauty dust. Here's the packaging. I picked this up, guys, at Kroger. It was in the clearance bin for like $1, I don't know, $1. And then Ibotta, the rebate app that I use, which you guys should totally check out, by the way, if you haven't already, has been having $1 cash back on any Celestial Seasonings tea. So I got this for free and I am really liking it. It's got this pretty mandala thing on it. It has cinnamon, ginger, cloves, cardamom, nutmeg, and black pepper, and then decaffeinated black tea, roasted chicory, and natural vanilla bean flavor. So I'm really enjoying that. It's decaf and gluten-free. And this one, I took you guys' advice because it is a black tea. I did not squeeze the tea bag like I've been doing with my fruity blueberry tea and my apple cinnamon tea, but this is so good. I have a few drops of the a few drops of the cinnamon sweet leaf stevia drops that I get on Vitacost or iHerb, and I also have some of the Mucuna Puriens in here as well from Moon Juice Shop. So loving that. I'm gonna get a little sip here. Hope you guys enjoyed the review of the Vino Shore and the recipe in Vlogtober day 18 yesterday. As promised, and as you can probably tell from the title, today I'm going to be reviewing some of the Tony Moly sheet masks that you guys sent me, as well as this little devil, my little eye patch. Isn't he cute? So I'm going to review him, the Tony Moly My Little Pet Hydrogel eye patch that I did, as well as the Master Lab Intensive Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Hydrating Mask, the PURENESS 100 Pearl Mask Sheet Brightening Mask, and the Master Lab Intensive Moisturizing Ceramide Moisture Care Mask. I really enjoyed doing all of these. So let's just start with sort of the non-mask mask, if you will, the eye patches, the Tony Moly My Little Pet eye patches. I purchased these at Ulta, I believe, with like one of those coupons, and I think it actually worked this time. Those coupons are kind of a loose cannon. I can never quite figure them out. But this is a hydrogel kind of component here that they're using. And hydrogel is very commonly used in medicine and surgery as a wound dressing. What it is kind of like a polymer sheet that is semi-permeable, meaning that it allows for kind of moisture retaining properties and sort of a it doesn't allow bacteria to get in, so it protects an open wound. It's really great just on its own without any of the Tony Moly additives. It's really great on its own for like burns, dermabrasion wounds, for example, healing skin, open cuts, and ulcers, okay? And so it's comprised of like water-loving polymers is kind of how it's made and engineered, and it's these hydrogel dressings, you can get them on Amazon just plain, by the way. They also have a honey impregnated one that's used a fair amount for wounds. So you all who are interested in honey, I've talked about honey masks. I will list those down below as well. It is largely water, and so it's really moisturizing. It keeps things hydrated. And I can see why Tony Moly would want to utilize it because it kind of adheres fairly well. And then the nice thing about hydrogel and the engineering behind hydrogel as a substance is that it can be impregnated with a variety of things like antimicrobials, for example. And so, they can be customized to treat particular wound infections and that kind of thing. So it's nice in that regard. And so Tony Moly, smartly has capitalized on that and impregnated it with some things to put under the eyes. And so what did he put in here? Well, probably the thing that people will be most excited about when they peel these off. You put them on for, it says to leave them on for 30 minutes. I believe I did that. Okay. And I did slightly notice a brightening effect, and when I was reading the comments the day after I did this for you guys, you all were like, wow, those eye masks really work. So maybe they worked. I suppose they did. But the ingredient in this that contributes the most to the brightening is the licorice, or glycerizate, okay? That is in actually all of the Tony Moly masks, and for the most part, most of the Korean kind of brightening things have that in it, and so that's really what you're seeing there. This also has green tea extract in it, which I talked a little bit yesterday about resveratrol and polyphenols. Green tea extract is another plant-derived polyphenol that is present in many of the Korean and Japanese skincare products, because theoretically it could scavenge damaging free radicals that contribute to dark spots under the eyes, wrinkling, sagging, all of those things that nobody likes. So I can see why they would put that in there, but bear in mind, green tea polyphenols getting into the skin and having antioxidant activity, there's just really not much reassuring data to support that works, okay? But they put it in there and sell it to you as being antioxidants, okay? So just be informed and be a critical thinker, okay? Be a critical thinker. Things that I wish Tony Moly did not put in this, but he didn't ask me. He puts peppermint extract in this, which I can see why he did that, because he's appealing to the consumer's desire to kind of feel tingling, and that's exactly what it's doing. It's tingling and simultaneously irritating, okay? Peppermint has no role in skincare. It really tends to be more irritating, if anything, and definitely, I mean, no role for it under the eyes. And if you have rosacea-prone skin, you probably already know that peppermint extract is not a good idea. So bad move, Tony Moly, putting that in there. He also loves to put grapefruit extract and a variety of other fruit extracts in these things that I personally don't think are a good idea to occlude under the very thin and delicate skin of the eyes, where you are more susceptible to developing allergic contact dermatitis, okay? So if I were Tony Moly, I would probably just put the hydrogel patches and maybe the licorice in there so that people could experience the brightening thing. And I would leave everything else out, because doing these things on the very thin, delicate skin of the eyes under occlusion chronically, especially if you do this, you know, a couple of nights a week, you're putting yourself at quite a high risk for developing a sensitivity to one of these ingredients, and then having dryness and irritation around the eyes and worsening dark circles and all of that jazz. So he started off strong and finished as a fail. As a consumer, I enjoyed doing this, like I said. One thing I would recommend to you guys with these, or with using any kind of hydrogel, it has a soothing effect, okay? So it can be really nice at the end of the day if you've got those puffy eyes. I think this could probably help a little bit, or help you feel a little better. Keep this in the refrigerator. It's extra soothing that way. Would you believe it, guys? I mean, don't you worry out there. I cannot abandon coffee drinking for the sake of humanity. I can't. I become an insufferable human being and downright belligerent if I'm deprived of my coffee. So I won't be doing that. But tea is something I was a no drinker of for a long time, and Celestial Seasonings has really been a good gateway for me, and I'm really enjoying having the whistle wetting. You guys are making some great recommendations on teas, by the way, so I will check them out. Okay, so as far as the sheet masks go, just as a consumer, all in all, I really enjoyed these masks, because I found with all of the masks, I didn't appreciate any subtle differences from mask to mask. I have, disclaimer, done the pearl one in the past. I believe once, and I believe I've done this hyaluronic acid one, I want to say once upon a time, but I've never done them like, you know, weekly, once a week for a few months to know if they have an effect. But knowing what I know, I would say, you know, they're unlikely to have a sustained effect. Anything that you see with these is probably just transient. So in other words, these are great for kind of beautifying your skin before going out, but don't expect this to really change the biology of your skin. What I do like about these though is that they have quite a bit of the juice, so to speak, the solution in these packets, and the mask is easier. I find these masks pretty easy to put on, and they cover a nice area and are pretty flexible. I almost prefer them to be a little bit wider, so that I can kind of, you know, tuck it under the face, versus narrow. Then I find they peel off. I know I'm supposed to be using that silicone overcoat, and I do use that, but when I put the mask on and come out here and talk to you guys, if I have the silicone overcoat, it makes it really hard to articulate with that thing on, so I don't do that. But I really like these. They're big, they're easy to put on. They're bigger than some masks. They're easier to put on, and they have quite a bit of the solution in them. So what I would recommend to you guys is to, when you take the mask out, to have a Ziploc baggie nearby, so you can just drop it into the Ziploc baggie, and that way the residua in here stays in here and doesn't evaporate, and then you can reuse some more of the solution another night, like on some cotton pads or something if you wanted to, just to make them go a little bit further. I think you really get a lot of solution in here for your box, so that's great, and so I would recommend doing that. But as far as the ingredients, let's just start with the pearl one. Okay, I really enjoyed this one. It has, you know, it's touting itself to have pearl extract in it, which, speaking of pearl extract, you all know I consume pearl powder, and I started consuming it here on this channel because I was kind of just intrigued by consuming pearl powder. I consume it in the product Beauty Dust from Moon Juice, and I also consume it in the just straight pearl powder from Moon Juice Shop. And you know, these companies are claiming that consuming pearl powder has, you know, a brightening effect on the skin. It's high in minerals and all of these things. There's really no scientific evidence for that. I mean, if you go in PubMed, there are really no studies looking at like Beauty Dust. And likewise, there are really no studies to support putting this on the skin. I can't find any reports of any adverse effects of putting pearl extract on your skin. So, all right, and everybody's doing it these days with the demand for these sheet masks. So it seems to be safe. I mean, I'm not seeing anything adverse from putting pearl on my face in these masks. And it has, but it has licorice root extract in it, as all of these do, and that's really what's doing the brightening here, I suspect. So I did notice a subtle brightening effect with this, with all of the masks, and I attribute it to the licorice root extract. I really like this mask quite a bit because it doesn't have a whole lot of garbage in here. It's got some things to stabilize the ingredients, polymers probably to impart a brightening effect, a few preservatives. It's got castor oil, which is moisturizing. It's got glycerin, which is moisturizing. And the only offensive ingredient in this one is fragrance, okay? And I mean, you can almost guarantee fragrance is going to be in your skincare products, unless you're sticking to something like Banny Cream, CeraVe, or you know, a lot of the Japanese skincare is actually fragrance-free. So, wish Tony Moly hadn't made this scented. It doesn't smell like anything. It doesn't burn or sting when you put it on. It's pretty gentle, and I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. Moving right along, let's talk about the Ceramide Moisture Care one. I need a little sip here. The Ceramide Moisture one, you know, I had similar experiences with all of these. Like, I really didn't notice a difference. And this one too has licorice root extract, and I was really excited about this one because you all know that I love ceramides in moisturizing products. Ceramides are the most abundant lipid in the stratum corneum of the top layer of our skin. They become a little bit deficient with age or in skin conditions such as eczema, wherein there's a predilection to developing dryness. And putting them on the skin has been shown to kind of help the body boost its production of its own and just help restore the skin barrier. And you may say, like, why is that important? Well, it's important because as you go throughout your day, you're exposed to a lot of insults, whether they be ultraviolet light damage, you know, pollutants, allergens, pathogens, you name it. I mean, your skin is a barrier. It has a lot of work to do. And so that barrier needs to kind of recoup and keep itself intact, all right? And the more intact and the stronger the barrier is, the better off you are in terms of skin health, all right? So I'm a fan of ceramides in skincare. I'm just a fan of moisturizers in general for that reason. It's really important to keep a moisturized, hydrated skin barrier for that reason so it can function properly. All right, so Score Tony Moly put some ceramides in this mask. That's great. He also put licorice root extract. I think I already mentioned that. He put green tea extract. Fine. Then Tony Moly goes in there and puts all this other garbage that has no role in here and has the potential to irritate you. He put in grapefruit extract, ginger. He loves ginger. I mean, I don't know if he's got a girlfriend with red hair and he just loves ginger or what. It is in everything, and I would not put ginger in a skincare product. I mean, he's got like that, and what was the other one in here that I was like, oh, he put schizandra in here, which is one of the Chinese herbals, you know, the adaptogens that people consume. No role for putting that on your skin. I mean, people are just taking things that are purported or traditionally thought to be helpful for health, you know, from a traditional medicine perspective, mashing them up in a dish and slapping them in skincare products as if they have any legitimate role there. You know, it's kind of, I don't understand the rationale, and it just kind of, it sets the stage for you guys developing an irritation from these, and it's just kind of useless. So I don't know why they do that, but overall I enjoyed this one. If I were Tony Moly, I wouldn't go putting ginger and grapefruit in this. I'd just keep the licorice, the ceramides, and and I would also skip the fragrance. That's not a good one to put in here. But everything else in this is good. I did feel that this was quite moisturizing, and I enjoyed it. Was not irritated or bothered by it, but didn't do it chronically. So there is that. Then as far as the last one, the hyaluronic acid mask, I also enjoyed quite a bit. It too has the licorice root extract in it, which I attribute to the brightening effect. It's got, not only does it have licorice root extract, but it also has another derivative of licorice in it. So it's kind of got a double dose of it. I don't know if doubling up on it makes a difference. I didn't see a difference in terms of brightening with this one. And then the other ingredient that is helpful in this is he put some hyaluronic acid in it, so that can sit on the skin and kind of hold on to some of the water and keep the skin hydrated. You should put a moisturizer on though, however, after doing these, so that you seal that in, because if this just evaporates, it's all kind of useless. But he's got some good ingredients in here. Aside from the grapefruit, I think this one, you know, likewise is pretty good. So overall, I'm really thrilled with the Tony Moly masks. They're fun. There's a lot of solution in these. For what you pay for them, you get quite a bit, I thought. And you know, they are very moisturizing. They're pretty gentle. They don't have a ton of like offensive fragrance in them, but they do have fragrance, so they have the potential to be problematic. But I think they're good. I think my favorite one is probably the pearl one. So not too bad, Tony Moly. I would skip these guys though. I don't really think they're worth it, honestly. I mean, you could probably just get away with like buying some hydrogel and cutting it into little masks here and not having all this stuff impregnated on it that can cause problems, and that would be soothing. Keep it in the fridge though. So yeah, that's my review on the Tony Moly masks, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for sending these to me. They were a ton of fun to do. You guys seem to enjoy watching me do them, so I was happy with that. Oh, tea here. But I am going to get a crack-a-lackin' and head on out for my day, so I hope you enjoyed the review today, and give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!